I enlisted in 2006 as a combat engineer, and I was deployed to Afghanistan in 2012. I was on a clearance patrol in a remote part of the Uruzgan province where I stepped right on an improvised explosive device, and that device detonated beneath me and took both my legs and severely injured my left hand. It was a pretty long road to rehabilitation, both just physically and mentally. I had set a goal of being up walking from when the guys got home from Afghanistan. Some 3 months later, I started off with 5 minutes of rehabilitation or physio on that one day in hospital, and then realised to myself on that exact day that I was now a disabled person. I was now a person that would need prosthetics, wheelchairs, driving modifications, shower chairs, just to have a normal life. And it sort of really came to light about what my life was going to be and how it was looking, and it wasn't looking great in my eyes at the time. I managed to get up walking for when the guys got home. It was a great moment and momentum and great memory for my rehabilitation, great sense of closure as well, because when the guys got home I was wearing my uniform, and that sense of achievement was there, and it sort of developed this mindset of setting goals and trying to pursue them as best I could and focusing on them 100%. And that obviously led straight into sport. Some 6 months after I got out of hospital, I was over in America competing at the Marine Trial Games, which was a little bit of a precursor to the Invictus Games. That was in 2013. And I did swimming and archery there. I tried wheelchair basketball, but I can't shoot, so I didn't like that. Left the court after getting yelled at for missing too many shots, so I probably wasn't made out for the game anyway. And progressed on to this swimming sort of idea, and toyed with a few different sports, and I obviously knew how much time and effort an athlete that wants to go to the Paralympics and the Olympics commits to their life and their schedule was immense. So I wanted to choose something that I enjoyed, and I ended up picking kayaking. And my whole focus for that was just to get to the Paralympics, because when I was injured, I was getting carried on the stretcher to where the helicopter was coming to collect me. And I said to the guys, "You guys will see me in the Paralympics." I don't know why. It was a bit of a motivator. We're all going through that trauma. So many people were involved in that trauma. It wasn't just me who was lying on the ground. It was the knock on the door that my mother got, the phone call that my partner got in New Zealand. All those elements of people that you rely on to rehabilitate and pull you through are also going through that trauma too. So if we can somehow find a way to somewhat improve our life, and for me that was using the power of sport, and I progressed on to the Paralympics and managed to win the gold medal there, and also I got involved with the Invictus Games in 2014 in its inaugural year, captained the team there and did swimming and archery there, and then in 2016 did swimming and indoor rowing. Tried a few different sports, as you can tell. And then last year in Toronto, I did indoor rowing and wheelchair rugby, and I really loved the rugby. I guess
love the rowing. You loved it, didn't you?
I've retired. I've retired. I couldn't get off the ground for about 15 minutes. I was so full of lactate after a 4-minute row, up against just recently the world's strongest wheelchair athlete in the world. The Game of Thrones, the Mountain, he's considered the world's strongest man. This guy's in a wheelchair. If you think of him in a wheelchair, that's who I was up against. So, I was spent and not really feeling like I wanted to get it back on an ergo. But it gave me that sense of purpose. It gave me that sense of being and reason to get up in the morning. And as well as that, it also makes us live a healthy life. It's all known that the chemicals that are released in our body from sport and activity are so healthy, and it's surprising how much energy you get from doing sport. It's kind of infectious, and the Invictus Games is an amazing opportunity for athletes like myself and Rachel who have gone through that to experience those benefits.